Live here on Legit Television. We are back with this young man here. His name is Shane White. Today's topic is on marijuana. So Shane White, can you tell us about marijuana, what you think about it, and its presence here in Malawi?
Thank you so much, Mr. Legit, and a lot of shout outs to Legit TV station. The name is Shane White, and in the first place, when I hear the word marijuana, the name marijuana, cannabis, I think about the healing of the nation, the king of the jungle, the only tree that has more blessings than all the trees across the nations, and about its presence. We talk about natural elements. It's a thing that was created by the Most High, the Creator. It was created. It's just like any other tree that you see around, and any other flowers, and all those beautiful things that you see out there. The creation is just part of the creation, one of the most blessed creation.
Thank you for that input. I'm sure many Malawians just hear about this plant called chamba, but they don't really know what chamba really is. Can you tell us the types of chamba that you know, and can you also tell us how you can use it?
Thank you so much.
As a whole, because I think a lot of people tend to abuse it just because it's called jamba. They don't really know what jamba is.
Yeah, most definitely. Like in the first place, here in Malawi, to learn about weed, chamba, ganja, or cannabis, this tree, it's called cannabis. That's in the first place. So, in different countries, it was given different names according to the government and also according to the system. Chamba, it's not a suitable word for this thing. It was given some names that are harsh for it to look so bad, but the real name is cannabis. Ganja would be fine, but weed, as you know, weed, it's an unwanted plant. Weeding, we learn about weeding, They say this one is weed. It's just a given name to say it's weed because it's not needed. This is chamba. Chamba is just an abused word for chamba, like to mock it. Weed, something which is not necessary, like we remove unwanted plants. We say this is weeding. You see, but the real word, the real name is cannabis. We would say ganja is just fine. And the youth is, ganja, it's very important. As I said earlier, that it's the most blessed tree because it collects anything that a man needs. It's a way of communicating with the Creator. It's the only tree that was given there so that it should communicate with anyone. It's the only tree that you cannot see. Here in Malawi, you walk from Sanje to Chitipa, but you can't see not even a single tree of chamba, like on your way. You travel a lot of distance, a long distance, you would not see a tree of weed, cannabis. But if you walk around the places where people stay, you see people smoking every day. People do smoke every day from 1st to 365. The whole year they smoke, but you won't see not even a single tree. They try, they chop it, they pretend they destroy it, but others, they still use it. So the use of weed, the use of cannabis, most of them, I see a lot of people abusing it, They are only like it because there's not something to say like overdose with weed, but too much youth would lower some of the things, There are grades that you need to take. There are best grades of weed that you need to take. If you take the right grades, properly graded, and the nice road, because even rolling, Of course, rolling it's an art, but rolling matters most as well, because it's like cooking, you know. When the food, you can have chicken, but if it's not cooked nicely, you know, you would feel some stomach pains. You see? So it's weed, but if it's not rolled nicely, you would smoke it like chingambo. It wouldn't kick you the way it's supposed to kick you, or you wouldn't feel it the way you're supposed to feel it. You just feel like mauzu, you know, just like something useless. But when you take weed that is mature, you know, weed that is mature, something that when you touch it, you feel something like you feel it in your heart, you know, something like that. That's the best weed, and the best weed always has seeds. The best weed has seeds. I've tried different weed, skank, hashish. I've tried the this so-called seedless. You know how you say this thing is best, yet it has more seeds. You cannot have that type. You know, you cannot have that type. Because we don't do like we don't plant like cassava. We don't plant a stem. We plant seeds. So something which is best, that means it has seeds. If it doesn't seeds, just know that it's just hybrid thing, and there are chances that others spray some chemicals on it so that it should kick you in a different way. So the best weed has the best grapes, has the best seeds. The seeds that when you look at them, others they are too dark, others they are too gold, but they look mature and they shine. Once you touch them, they shine and they stick. When you touch it, as I told you earlier on, it's more like incoherent, like glue, you know, something. Well, of course, it wouldn't reach to that extent, but that's the best way to take. And you need to have a good pencil. When you're smoking, you do not need to smoke the trees. You do not need to smoke the seeds. No. Make sure you remove all the seeds. Make sure you remove all the trees. The seeds will damage some of the things in your body, of which I'm not talking about that, but I'm only talking about the weight, you know. So once you smoke the good grades in good time with a good mentality, it helps a lot, because as I told you, it's a healing of the nation, and I'll say it's a universal healer. It gives you anything that you need, you know. When you take the right amount of weed and you take the right weed as well, it gives whatever you need. Like when you're feeling too hungry, you don't have food around you, and you take a small joint of good weed, you feel okay. You feel okay, and you can walk, you know. And when you feel like you feel like you're enough, you want to eat something, you've lost appetite, you know, you've lost appetite, you take a joint, my friend, I'm telling you, you'd feel so nice, and you'd feel so, the appetite comes immediately, and the food is always tasty. So you can look at it, you feel headache, you know, stress. There are other things like things to do with friendship, relationships, and all that, things that has to do with mind, you know, bad behavior and all that. Weed separates you from that. Before you do anything, when you're smoking, you feel about the well-being of others before you think about yourself, and later you say, no, I cannot harm that person. Why should I? I cannot use obscene language. Why should I? Anything that has no benefit in your life, weed helps you, and it makes you remain silent. Others would say, no, it keeps them silent. But silence, you know, it's a weapon, it's a very greatest weapon to deal with so many things, like even your opponent or situations that would stress you. If you remain silent to such, it helps a lot. So weed keeps you silent, but it's not just silent. It keeps your brain going, thinking why things are happening, where they're coming from, and you even think the results, the outcomes. What would be the outcome of whatever is happening? So once you smoke good weed, it will help you to notice all of those things. Sure.
Okay, thank you, sir. Before we go, can you just tell us what should happen to the weed in Malawi? Should it be legalized, or should people have their own markets for selling weed, or should the government continue banning it? What should happen to the weed in Malawi currently as we are living?
Thank you for that question. Looking at the matter, I've heard a lot of people saying weed should be legalized. I've heard millions from different countries, not even Malawi, and even in Canada it's legalized. There are countries that it is legalized. But I look at one thing, being a citizen, a patriotist, I think like in Malawi, weed, smoking weed, when you find whoever smokes weed should not have any case. I'm not saying it should be legalized, but smoking weed should not be a case because that's private life. It's like you are inhaling. It's private. So once a policeman catches someone smoking, wherever, whatever time, they should not ask them. But to say weed should be legalized, I think it will hinder a lot of lower people because the industries, people make money through it. There is a lot of money in weed. Like where I go, where I buy my weed, they have got a lot of cash from me. So if they legalize, this is what they'll say. Okay, fine, you'll be buying your blunts, you'll be buying your joints like in ShopRite. That means we have to pay tax, and you're going to buy already rolled weed. That will help you to buy massage, the thing massage I was talking about here. There are chances that if weed is legalized, you're not going to smoke good weed, and also the local markets, the sellers, the bush doctors, those people, they survive, through that. Those people won't have a chance anymore because it will be grown by companies, and the companies will export and also would distribute to different shops. So in Malawi, I think if you find someone smoking, that person should not be asked a question. If you find a farmer, that person should not also be asked a question. But weed should not be legalized. Weed should just remain as it is because mango is not legalized. Sugar canes are not legalized. But they're just there. You see a farmer growing mango, you growing sugarcane. You wouldn't ask them questions. You wouldn't even ask someone why are they. There is no law that has to do with sugarcane. I want the same thing to happen with weed. There shouldn't be any law whether to say it should be legalized or not legalized. But there shouldn't be any law, not even any law about that. It should just remain as it is because it's heaven sent. It's a seed, same as papaya. We have masu, mangoes. We have ntema. We have sugar canes, as I already said. Nobody said cassava. Nobody said this thing should be legalized or not. They are there. They have no laws. No one asks when you see someone buying them in the markets. No one asks when you see them growing them. So it should happen the same with cannabis.
Okay, thank you, sir, for chatting with Legit Television. I'm sure a lot of people would be interested to see this video. Thank you for giving us your time, sir.
Thank you so much, Mr. Legit, and once again, shout out to Legit TV station. All right.